Question 5. You're scrawny. Eat some grass-fed beef and you'll bulk up quick. It's like, well, how come all my paleo friends who eat meat, they don't have much muscle and their fitness is pretty sub-average? Lovely people they are all the same, but their fitness is like, you know, minuscule. How come the people that eat animal products aren't just bulging with muscles as they walk down the street? That's alright, because you want to put muscle on, you've got to lift heavy weights. I'm a cyclist. I've got enough muscle for cycling and running marathons. In terms of going to the gym, you know, I'd maybe do that a few times a year. But if you want to see a good example of vegan bodybuilders, go to veganbodybuilding.com and you'll see some national level vegan bodybuilders on that website. That's a good one. I always find it, you know, funny when sedentary people tell me to eat some animal product to put on some muscle. But it's like, if you challenge them to even a bench press competition, I've challenged my friends to a bench press competition and I've beaten them. And I'm a freaking cyclist, a marathon runner, you know. It's like, we don't want to have too much upper body. I rode with Lance Armstrong last year on a training ride, and even he, now he's come back into racing cycling, and he says, I'm off the weights, you know, trying to stay lighter. G'day Harley, thanks for your videos, I find them interesting. Got a question for you. Since I started eating raw food, I feel a lot colder, and I'm finding it very challenging, and I find warm cooked food very tempting. What do you recommend I do? That's a common one. When I first started in this gig, I was eating maybe 3 bananas for breakfast and, you know, a few apples for lunch and little salad and some nuts for dinner and maybe 1,000 calories a day, and I was just like really cold, you know. What's happening there is we're not eating enough carbohydrates, we're not getting enough glycogen as a result, pardon me. So we're not eating enough carbohydrates, i.e. fruit, so our body's glycogen stores are deficient. So in our previous diets, we eat enough rice, pasta, cornbreads, things like that. We get enough glucose from that. Body can produce enough glycogen. Glycogen helps the body generate heat. That's why when people fast, they get very cold. When people undereat carbohydrates, they get very cold. Anorexics, very cold. You know, when you go out in the bush and you run out of food, you get very cold. So raw food, you want to ensure you're getting enough carbohydrates from your favourite fruits, or you're going to always be tempted to cook foods, not to keep you warm, but just to give you enough glucose so your body can produce enough glycogen. It's nothing to do with warmth. You know, cooked food doesn't warm you up. If that was the case, you know, people eating cooked food would be like never having to use heaters, or be like sitting outside in the snow eating, you know, a bowl of, ordering Domino's, go, hey man, Domino's driver coming down to the park, we're sitting here in the snow naked, we just need some pizza to warm us up, thanks, see you soon. Doesn't happen. So get enough calories from your favourite sweet fruits if raw is your goal. If not, you get enough carbohydrates, whatever diet you're following. And drink enough water, because when you dehydrate yourself, your blood plasma drops, so your blood can't pump around to your extremities, you're going to feel the cold more. Drink enough water so every day you're urinating at least 10 times a day, clear. If it's yellow or straw, you need to drink more, and at least a few times a night you'll be getting up to go and have a wee if you're hydrated. This question, David Hestrian in California. Harley, please show us how much you eat on a typical day with water and food. Put it out on a format so people can understand it easily. Okay, let's go to the kitchen.
Me, Harley, show us what you eat in a day, make it really simple so people can understand what a crazy fruit bat vegan looks like when they're having dinner.
And breakfast and lunch. Okay, so in the morning, always start the day with a litre of water. Doesn't matter what I'm eating for breakfast, if it's watermelon or whatever, litre of water upon rising. Just drink it slow. Maybe I'll go out for a quick jog or whatever. But regardless, always have a big breakfast, a big calorie. Try and get 1,500 to 2,000 calories for breakfast. Here we have 15 large, you know, awesome bananas. This is how you should eat them. This is a minimum, nice and spotty, maximum sugar. We're going for maximum glucose, and the more glucose in the fruit, the more nutrition is going to be in there because it's at its fully ripe stage. All its constituent nutrients are fully ready to rock and roll. So that's breakfast. Then I'll have another litre of water. This has got some old Gatorade in there. So maybe I'll drink half of it and then add half to the smoothie. So again, another 15 banana smoothie. So there's another 1,500 calories. So we've got 3,000 calories by lunchtime.
And so I eat breakfast, maybe 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., early in the morning, and then lunch between 11 and 2 p.m. I don't wait till I'm starving, I just wait till I'm invited by fruit. Then dinner, I'll either have more fruit, so 7, 8 bananas, and I'll have a salad, so maybe a whole celery. Sometimes I don't have greens, but this is a typical when I'm having greens. Big bag of sunflower sprouts, big bowl of lettuce there, and make a little dressing with red bell pepper. That's a sweet bell pepper, or sweet capsicum if you're in Australia, and it's a ruby red fruit from my friend John. Thanks, John, for that. And a litre of water before dinner, typically. And make a bit, maybe throw a few dates in there in the dressing, make it a little bit sweeter as well, and put it in the salad. So that's it. That's like a typical day. Here we've got about 3,500, 4,000 calories. If I'm doing more exercise, or I've got a big race coming up, like a 24-hour race, I'll eat more. People say, that's a lot of calories, don't you get fat on that much carbohydrates? It's like, look at me, man, you know what I mean? I eat as much as I want all day, just sitting around, or a bit of exercise or whatever. I do a lot of mental work, a lot of computer work, so my job's very sedentary. So that allows me good recovery for when I'm doing a bit of sport. So we recommend high-calorie diet, high-carbohydrate diet, a vegan diet. Raw diet is optimum, low fat, get rid of the salt, get rid of the junk food, get as much sleep and water as you want, a lot of rest, and then just go like crazy when it's time to rock and roll. Got back from a race, Div 1, A grade, and racing at that level is just amazing, because if you're not 100%, if you're not fully hydrated or fully carved up, or recovering properly or doing sufficient training, it's see you later on the hills, you're out the arse, so there's no hiding there. It's really good. It just exposes your weaknesses and forces you to work on those weaknesses. So this week I had a great race, came back on this, weighed myself in the scales before and after any intense work. I'd always weigh myself, make sure I just don't drop too much, because it's all just water weight. So if you're dropping a lot of weight in a training in one day, it means you're dehydrating yourself, you're not really giving your body sufficient water. So last week I had not such a good race, came back and I was like 2 kilos lighter, and it's like, there you go, you didn't drink enough water, Harles, in the days before your race, you just didn't drink enough water, got a bit distracted there in the race, didn't drink enough water either. But so during the 2 days before your race, you really want to focus on your hydration and your carbs, make sure you're topped up. And people say, but I'm not racing Div 1, I'm not racing A grade, Harley, I don't need to eat that much, I don't need to drink that much. And it's like, don't you want to be super duper fit and never have to worry about your weight ever again in your life, and just have enough energy to keep up with your kids, or to do a marathon, or to race your bike, or to cycle around the world, or become a dancer, or gymnast or bodybuilder, or whatever? Don't you want to have enough energy to do that? I mean, I do. I love to race my bike, I love to ride my bike, and I want to have that energy to do that, and I love to be able to give that energy into my sport, and also have energy in surplus that I can give to other people in my job, in my profession, in my community, my family, my partner. Have that energy, that lasting energy, emotional stability, where you're not freaking out, you're not like, going up and down like a roller coaster. Get your carbs, get your water, get your sleep, do your activity, get your sunshine, boom, it's all dialed in, and you just feel amazing. I feel high now. I used to do amphetamines and cocaine, and the high I get experience of being healthy and fit just blows them all out of the water. Why? Because it's something you can not only obtain, but you can sustain it. There's no come downs, it's just like, you wake up next day and you're like, yeah, man, it's a solid day yesterday, rather than just like burnt out, hangover, coming down, man. It's like, there's no come downs, you just go to sleep.